Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Mark B. Hubble, and I am doing a spotlight on someone who inspires me. So this is your Saturday afternoon spotlight, so to speak. And with me today, my featured guest is someone who I've come to admire over the last few months. Her name is Cassidy McMahon. And Cassidy McMahon does her own YouTube channel called Braves Anatomy, where she does recaps of Braves games that she has watched that day. And the way that I came to know who Cassidy was is I was trying to figure out what the final score of a spring training game was back in early March. And so I went to Twitter, because you can usually get the most up-to-date things on Twitter, and I put Braves spring training score, and her page popped up. And she was doing a video, and I was watching the video, and I was just, captivated by it because it was informative. I could tell she was very knowledgeable about the sport, knowledgeable about the Braves, and also entertaining. So after that, I hit the follow button, and I wanted to know as much as I could about Cassidy McMahon and the story she has. So, Cassidy, thank you for agreeing to do this interview.
Thank you for having me.
And one of the things that I wanted to know about you is what sparked the idea for you to create a YouTube channel to do recaps of the greatest team that's ever been in professional sports?
I can thank my pushy, lovely mother for this, because she loves sports because of us, but she doesn't necessarily like me talking about it every 5 seconds. So she was like, you got to figure out something to talk to people about, because I can't do this. I don't get why you cry or you yell or you for news and stuff. So she was like, you gotta figure it. And she just pushed me for months and months, and I was like, okay, finally. I just put it on Twitter, and one day I hashtagged it Braves Fam, and that's pretty much the rest is history.
All right, so there's usually a backstory to why people have a favorite team or why their team is their favorite team. So what drew you to being a Braves fan out here in North Carolina?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. My family went to a Braves game. I guess one of my brothers was like 3, and my dad had been at the Sid Bream slide game. So I guess that's why, but I really don't have a definitive answer to that. But my brothers were fans from the beginning, and I just continued that, I guess.
Well, with me, my grandparents were both Braves fans on my mom's side and my dad's side. My grandmother on my dad's side, Beulah May, we called her Boo Boo. She watched every single game, and that's back when all the Braves games were on TBS.
And I think that's also why, because the Braves are the closest team that we have, and we always had it on TV as well. So
yeah, and what you get to watch is usually what you end up liking, and you choose who you want to root for.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a better team than the Braves to root for. But that's my own personal opinion right there. Now, over the past few months, I've seen you getting more comfortable in front of the camera and really letting your personality shine. You have quite a few catchphrases when you're doing the recaps and your highlights. What are some of your personal favorite catchphrases?
One of the favorites, and they all come out of, I don't study, I don't do anything. This is just me wearing my emotions on my sleeve, as you know. But Adventures of Luke Jackson is one of my favorites, because Luke Jackson, I love him to death, but God, he gives me heart attacks and gray hairs every single time he pitches. And even if it's a good outing or a bad outing, I swear I'm sweating and heart pounding and all that stuff. So that's one of my favorites. And then, as always, go Braves, because I always try to stay as positive as possible during these. Even if we get trounced 13-1 or whatever, I'll say, well, we didn't get no hit. So I always just try to keep it positive as possible.
Yes, and I understand trying to find some humor in everything, because Luke Jackson, we were at a game, my wife and I, and it was a 3-run lead, bottom of the 9th, and I say, I wonder how Luke Jackson's going to make this interesting. And
right.
He walked the first 3 batters, of course, and then they hit into a double play, and then it was a fly out, so we were able to get the victory, but not without having to sweat a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's because Luke Jackson was the first player to like one of my videos, so I give him a lot of credit for that as well. But that's just one of everybody's favorite phrases that I use.
Okay, So why did you name your YouTube channel Braves Anatomy? What's the story behind that?
This was another one. I worked for Porter Ridge High School as a social media whatever to get my start in this, and my mom was actually in the car watching Grey's Anatomy, and she was like, "Oh, that fits," and so she just told me Braves Anatomy, and I was like, "Well, that definitely fits because I do every single thing about the Braves that I can possibly think of." So.
Right, and if you think about anatomy, it's like the study of the inside of the body, and you're really getting deep. And that's why your recaps, you really go deep, so you're really getting to the bare essential, the anatomy of the Braves, so to speak. So that's a great
my mom has been a very, very big influence, and so is my dad, just the support. But my mom, as annoying as I talk about sports so much, she loves me enough to help me through the fun stuff that I do.
Well, that's
on
great.
My videos. So.
Absolutely fantastic. I read where you graduated from UNC Charlotte.
I did.
And what was your major study?
Organizational management. And that was only because they didn't have sports management.
So when you were there, did you ever go to any basketball games or baseball games?
I went to one basketball game with my brother and his now wife, and I also went to the inaugural UNC Charlotte football game against Campbell.
Oh.
When I was a junior in high school, I believe.
Yeah.
So with one of the football coaches at Independence.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there was a basketball coach at UNC Charlotte named Mark Price.
Yep.
Are you aware of Mark Price? Yep. Now, you might not know this about me, but I am the biggest Mark Price fan ever, because when I was younger and I started playing basketball, I was a short white guy that could run the point and shoot threes. And all my friends, because my name is Mark, would call me Mark Price. So I started liking Mark Price. And from that point on, I was a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. And I had to go through the whole LeBron debacle. He comes there, goes to the playoffs, leaves, comes back. We win a championship, down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. So I was in heaven after that. So being a Cavaliers fan and Mark Price fan, I thought that was really a neat coincidence that he coached there and he graduated from there. Is there anything about your life personally that you'd like to share, maybe something that we might not know about? Or something we might be surprised to know about you?
Surprised to know about me? No, I'm pretty much an open book. Surprised. Well, my uncle works for the Yankees.
Your uncle works for the Yankees. Okay, and what regard?
He's in player development.
Player development. So does he do any scouting or anything like that?
I don't know. Yeah, he was in the Dominican Republic. He was the main guy for Gary Sanchez.
Oh, okay. Now, does he call you and ask you for tips on players from the Braves that they can rob from us so they can become a Yankee?
He does not.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Cassidy. And you can follow Cassidy on Twitter at #Cass_Mac21 and subscribe to her YouTube channel called Braves Anatomy, where she just topped 500 subscribers, which was her goal before opening day. But she wants many, many more. So if you can get to your YouTube channel and find her, Braves Anatomy, subscribe to her channel, and click that button so she can have more subscribers. Opening day is July 23rd. How do you think the Braves are going to fare this season?
If our depth does not get hit anymore, I think we will be fine. But I honestly feel like this season is a crapshoot for everybody. I mean, you're going to feel really good if you win the championship, obviously. And it's going to feel even sweeter because of all the extra stuff. But if you don't win, you'll be like, we had all this stuff going on and it's not really a representation of us. So we're all just kind of playing with house money, every single team, I feel like. So whoever wins, great. I hope it's the Braves. It better be the Braves. But if it's not, then we'll just go on again. But I can tell you it's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah, I know we got a tough schedule this year. Seeing the teams that we're up against, I think we're playing the AL East, which is Toronto, New York, Boston, Tampa. Those are some pretty tough teams right there. So if we can navigate through that mess and still end up making the playoffs, I think we got a shot to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Some of you might not know, the last time there was a shortened season in baseball the Braves won the World Series.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Cassidy, for spending this time with us. And if there's anything you'd like to close with, we just want to say we appreciate your time and sharing with us the way that you have.
I just appreciate you guys having me and supporting me as much as Twitter and everything has. You guys are amazing, and just if you keep subscribing, that helps me out a lot. I appreciate everything everybody's done for me, and this has been a dream come true already, so thank you.
Thank you for sharing this time with us. Take care, and God bless.